In this video, we'll be continuing our Math 1010 final exam review, and we're going to focus on questions 31 through 51 odd. So in question 31, we have 4 points to plot. We're to plot the point 1, 8, the point 3, 0, the point negative 2, 6, and the point 5, negative 4. Remember, when given ordered pairs, the first number is your left-right movement. The second number is how many you move up or down. In this problem, our directions are that we are to sketch. So we're going to combine like terms by getting the variables together on one side. Then we'll divide by 3 to get x equals 2. And then we'll remember that any equation that is x equals and then just a constant is a vertical line. So we would go to x equals 2 and just sketch a vertical line. In this problem, we're to find the x and y intercepts for our equation. Remember that to do that, we want to set x equal to 0 to get the y-intercept. But that would give me negative 3y equals negative 9. Or y equals 3. So that would be the ordered pair, 0, 3. And to find the x-intercept, I'll let y be 0. But that would give me x equals negative 9. So that's the ordered pair, negative 9, 0. And then I would plot those points. So if I graph 0, 3 will be there, and negative 9, 0 would be here. And now I can just connect those dots to form my line. And so that's what your line would look like. In this problem, we're asked to find the slope and the y-intercept. So what we want to do is take our equation and solve for y equals. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides of the equation. 11x minus 7y would equal 8. Then I'm going to subtract 11x. So negative 7y would equal negative 11x plus 8. And then I'm going to divide everything by negative 7. So y would equal, 11 doesn't divide evenly by 7, so we'll just leave that as positive 11 sevenths. And then since we have 8 divided by negative 7, we can actually change this to a minus, and then just leave it as 8 sevenths. So my slope, remember, our form is y equals mx plus b. So my slope would be 11 sevenths, and my y-intercept, which is my b, is negative 8 sevenths, but I want to list that as an ordered pair, and it'd be 0, negative 8 sevenths. In problem 39, I'm to write the equation of the line that passes through the point 5, 4 and has a slope of negative 5, 6. So we want to use y equals mx plus b. Remember, our slope is our m, and that's our x and our y. So if we substitute those numbers in, we get 4 equals negative 25 sixths plus b. But then we can add 25 sixths to both sides. And that's going to give me 49 sixths is equal to b. So now we're finished once we substitute in our m and our b. Our slope was negative 5 sixths x plus our b, which is 49 sixths. We are also asked in part B of this problem to tell what would be the slope of the line that would be perpendicular to the one that we have. And if our slope is negative 5 sixths, then the perpendicular slope is equal to the opposite reciprocal, which would be positive 6 fifths. In problem 41, we're to graph 5y is less than or equal to negative 4x. You want to solve for y equals. We'll divide both sides by 5 and get that y is less than or equal to negative 4 fifths x. So remember that if we put this in y equals mx plus b form, my b is 0, so I'm going to start at the origin, and my slope is negative 4 fifths. So we go down 4 over 5. Or we could go up 4 and over negative 5. Now, because it's a less than or equal to problem, it's a solid line, so I want to connect those dots with a solid line. And because it's an inequality, we need to shade. Since we've gotten y by itself, remember that you can shade the part that's below the graph because it's a less than or equal to. Now, that only works if you have already solved for y and gotten it by itself. Otherwise, you're going to have to pick a test point. In problem 43, we're asked if this set of points relation is a function. Remember that to be a function, you have to pair every x with only one y. And here is an example of two places where x has been paired with two different y's. So this is not a function. In problem 45, we're to sketch the graph of y equals x squared minus 4. I'm going to plot a few points. Let's use the points negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2 and get our ordered pairs. If I put in negative 2, I'm going to get 0. If I put in negative 1, I'll get negative 3. 0 will give me negative 4, negative 3, and 0 again. So plotting those points, there's the ordered pairs that we have, and we can see that that graph is going to look like that. So we get something that looks like a parabola. In problem 47, we're told that we need to solve using the substitution method. So I'm going to take my first equation and solve for the variable x. If I do, I get negative 5 minus 5y. Then I'm going to replace that into my second equation and get 9 times negative 5 minus 5y plus 6y equals negative 6. Now, using the distributive property, I'd have negative 45 minus 45y plus 6y equals negative 6. Combining like terms on this side, I get negative 39y minus 45 equals negative 6. Add 45 to both sides. Negative 39y equals 39, which makes y equal negative 1. Now I can take that and substitute back here, and I can get that x would be negative 5 minus 5 times negative 1, which would be negative 5 plus 5, which is 0. So my solution is the ordered pair 0, negative 1. We are to solve this problem using the addition method. And remember that to use the addition method, we want one of our variables to have the same coefficients, but with opposite signs. So if I take this first equation and multiply the entire thing by negative 4, I get negative 4x minus 20y equals negative 8. Now I'll keep the second equation and not do anything with it in this case. When I add the two equations now, those will cancel, and I'll get negative 14y equals 0, which means y is 0. But then I go back to one of my equations, and I'll just take my first one, and I'll let y be 0. And when I do, I get that x is 2. So my solution is the ordered pair 2, 0. In this last equation, we're to solve it also by the addition method. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate the fractions in both of these. So I'm going to take that top equation and multiply by 4. The bottom equation I'm going to multiply by 2. So if I do that, I'm going to get 8x minus 3y equals negative 32 for the top equation, and 10x minus y equals negative 18. And now I'm going to take the second equation and multiply by negative 3. And if I do that, that's going to now have my y variables to have the same coefficient but with opposite signs. So this will be negative 30x plus positive 3y equals positive 54. And now I can add. So that's going to give me negative 22x, those cancel, equals 22. Divide by negative 22, and I get that x is negative 1. Now go back and pick an equation, and I'm actually going to pick the ones once I've cleared the fractions, and I'm going to put in negative 1 for x, and then I'll solve for y. So I end up getting that y is 8, which gives me my solution as the ordered pair, negative 1, 8.